Alright, we're going to attempt to fill out the unit circle, and you're going to be asked to do this from memory, and it's going to be a timed assessment. So you have to kind of come up with a game plan on what works best for you. I originally started recording this lesson, and I was doing it one way, and then I'm like, you know, this isn't really the best way to do it. So I think what I'm going to do is fill out the first quadrant from 0 to 90 degrees completely, and then we'll kind of use those families after that. So this is 0 degrees, also known as 0 radians. And this xy ordered pair, cosine sine ordered pair is 1, 0. I don't know why that's cut off, but it is. I'll go ahead and do this other quadrantial up here. This is 90 degrees, which is pi over 2. This is the cosine sine ordered pair of 0, 1. Alright, my next favorite ones to fill out in the first quadrant is the 45s family. So this is 45 degree, also known as 1 pi over 4. And then his cosine and sine, in my opinion, are the easiest ones that are not quadrantial. It's square root of 2 over 2 for both of them. And then the 30 is pi over 6. And then it's the square root of 3 over 2 for the cosine. So the sine must be 1/2. I just remember that 30 and 60 are just reverse of each other. You just have to somehow remember which one is first. So the 30 and the square root of 3 come first, if that's a nice way for you to remember it. This is 60 degrees, which is pi over 3. And just reversing this green ordered pair would be 1/2, and then square root of 3 over 2. Alright, so first quadrant is completely done. And what I'm going to do for the other quadrants is I'm basically going to find their relative in the other quadrant, and I'm just going to fill them in the same color, and then I'm going to keep going around the circle that way. So let's go ahead and start with, let's fill out all the quadrantials while we're at it. So this is 180 and pi, and this xy ordered pair would be -1, 0. And this is 3 pi over 2. And this is 270. And this xy cosine sine ordered pair is 0, -1. And then they want you to fill in when you come back to 360 again. So 360, and that's 2 pi, and that's obviously the same ordered pair. Alright, let's go green. So this 30-degree angle here is a cousin of this 30-degree angle over here, this reference angle. So this is 150 degrees, if you do backwards 30 degrees. And then that would be, you have to decide how you want to figure this out. This is counting by groups of pi's over 6's. You could also say this is 6 pi over 6 backed up 1. So this is 5 pi over 6. Kind of in hindsight, I wish I would have started with something other than the green one, but whatever. I'll figure it out. Alright, so his ordered pair is going to be very similar. We just have to remember that little mnemonic device. All are positive. Sine is positive. Hello, that's not even the right order. Tangent is positive. Oy! And cosine is positive. So when I go to fill out the cosine sine, the cosine has to be negative. So this is negative square root of 3 over 2. And the sine is positive 1/2. Alright, this is the next green cousin down here. This would be 30 more degrees, so that's 210. This would be taking 6 pi over 6 and adding a pi over 6. So that would be 7 pi over 6. I'm really tired, I shouldn't be doing this. Alright, tangent's the only one that's positive, so both of these dudes will be negative square root of 3 over 2, negative square root of 3 over 2, and negative 1/2. Okay, good to go. And then this green guy is the last green cousin, and he would be, this would be like 12 pi over 6, so backing up one of those would be 11 pi over 6. For me, the fraction is always the worst part. Like, I don't really enjoy fractions, so I have to think a little harder about that. Remember, cosine's positive in this quadrant, so square root of 3 over 2 is positive, but the 1/2 is now negative. Alright, green one's done, check. Alright, blue family. So this is 1 pi over 4. This is 2 pi over 4, so don't count him again, because we already labeled it. So this must be 3 pi over 4, which is 135 degrees. Again, you can count by 45s, or you can kind of say, oh, it's 15 degrees back from here. Remember, sine is the only one who's positive in this next quadrant. So it's negative square root of 2 over 2 and positive square root of 2 over 2. This next blue cousin is down here. This was 3 pi over 4, so this is 4 pi over 4, so this is 5 pi over 4. And then another 15 degrees would be 225. Nobody's positive for these ordered pairs here, so this is negative square root of 2 over 2, negative square root of 2 over 2. And then right here, this was 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, this must be 7 pi over 4. Alright, so if I'm backing up 15 degrees, what, that 315? And then cosine is positive here, but sine is negative. Alright, one more. The red family. 60 degrees, this is 120 degrees. This is 1 pi over 3, so this is 2 pi over 3. And then this is negative cosine. Notice all the cosines are negative here. And then positive sine. There we go. All right, down here, if you want to keep counting by 60s, this is 60, 120, 180, so then this would be 240. Counting by pi's over 3s, 1 pi over 3, 2 pi over 3, this is 3 pi over 3, so this must be 4 pi over 3. Lovely. And then nobody's positive here, so negative 1/2, negative square root of 3 over 2. Alright, this must be 5 pi over 3. And it must be 300 degrees, exactly. Yes. And then it is positive cosine, so 1/2 is positive, but the negative square root of 3 over 2. So just before I turn this into my teacher, I do some triple checking. I make sure all the things are positive and negative in the right spot. If you have like different colors doing this test, like, yeah, do it in 3 different colors, 4 different colors. I think it really helps you kind of visualize, and if you made a mistake, you're going to figure it out, because all those green families should have a lot of similarities going on, right? Hey, after thorough explanation, a really good time, we got this done in under 7 minutes, so if I give you 10 minutes in class, I think you can figure it out. Good luck.